Hello and welcome to JoyNews Interactive here on the JoyNews channel, on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144 on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We are JoyNews on TV. I'm Apita CBD. Thank you so much for your company. Remember to send us a WhatsApp message on 0540100909. It's 0540100909. That's the number to dial to send us any of your messages to contribute to the conversation here on the show. Now let's talk about education, shall we? And first we'll start with the World Bank report on child literacy. Let's see if we can put that up. As we know, the World Bank says 87% of children in sub-Saharan Africa cannot read and understand a simple story at the age of 10. All right, now let's go to the bank. All right, so this one is, so it says reading is a gateway for learning as the child progresses through school. When children cannot read, it's usually a clear indication that school systems aren't well organized to help children learn in the areas like math, science, and the humanities either. Though it is possible to learn later in life with enough effort, children who do not read by age 10 or the latest by the end of primary school usually fail to master reading later in their schooling career. At least 53% of all children in low and middle income countries are not able to read proficiently by age 10 or even at age 12. When many of them are tested in sub-Saharan Africa, learning poverty is close to 87%. All right, eliminating learning poverty by 2030 achievable? That's the question they are asking. The answer is no. And with a global learning poverty rate of 53% in 25, this suggests that unless improvement accelerates dramatically from recent historical patterns, the world will fall well short of eliminating learning poverty. The way forward, we must commit to focusing on education quality and ending learning poverty, and we also need to eliminate learning poverty for all children by 2030, which would require improvements at a rate and scale that is unprecedented. All right, let's go to Facebook and see what you had to say about that. Kwame, good citizen, says, it's very sad. Teachers who are not well trained are the ones who teach in the lower levels of education, and we move ahead to meet the very well trained ones after we gain no solid foundation by the untrained one. I think the trained teachers should be moved back to the lower level to help the children understand the fundamentals before they move further. More of your comments, keep your comments coming. This one is from @Queen Bella, who says schools should be equipped to work the necessary materials to enable them to teach. It's not all about formulating policies and changing curriculum. And if the requisite materials are not available, teachers cannot conjure to make them read. More time should be allocated to reading as well. All right, we've taken the Queen Bella's comments. Let's see if we can get more of your comments. Toto Mante says, when some leaders are building churches instead of schools, how can we change? As Charles Apana says, we're gradually declining. Constant reading of English books and letter writing is very key. Joel Nana Boatin says, the World Bank is doing such rating within that scope of the imperialist language. They should leave us. We'll teach our children in our native language, and they will easily read and understand the stories better. Vincent Apam says teachers have no role. Tell governments to supply textbooks and other learning materials, and I bet you everything will be okay. Ernest Hudo says there is the need to help the poor people so that the children can go to the school all the time, and the teachers too need to be motivated well. Foster Boss says the problem is not about teachers, rather the structures, right from necessary materials to exams, exam mentality of students. If you pass your exams, good student. If not, then Kwekua Monting says, wow, but it's still not too late. Let's do the best to encourage and motivate the teachers within WAL so that they can be able to reach there, and we can be able to reach there as a country. Kwame Good Citizen says, this is something that worries me as a citizen and I've already started working on it. I am bringing children together so we can give them the fundamentals of education by the trained teacher. Watch out. Eugene Isel says, the problem with our education in Ghana is the parents. They do not read the books to their children at home from early age. I mean, no bedtime stories, no teachings in any way to their children. When they're at home, teachers don't attend to all of their children in classes at school. Samo says, I think parents are to be involved in achieving the goal, especially those in the rural areas. Most parents prefer using the children for farming activities than schooling. Also, there should be some incentive and allowance for teachers in the rural areas to boost their morale in teaching the rural students. There should also be amenities to assist teaching and learning, since it's not fair for a kid in a village to write some ICT exam, among other subjects, with the students in Accra. Haruna comes in to say that we human beings are wonderful creatures. Yes, we are. Basic level has to be boarding school so that the children will not be able to get contact with their parents who will overuse them in the farm. Okay, interesting. If they are trained in the boarding school, they will be well trained, and it's even more important than SHS boarding schools because of the foundations. The foundations will be strong. All right, so he says basic schools should be boarding schools to reduce parents' contact with the children, to enable them to impact knowledge on their children. All right, interesting stuff. I'll take a few of your WhatsApp messages. This one says, I teach JHS 1 to 3 social. Form 1 only 4 out of 36 can read, 5 out of 18 can read small, and 2 people in Form 3 can read out of 14. But these children are rather smart in other aspects, neglecting what is necessary in the school environment. This one is from Mubarak in the Eastern region, and he says, the problem of reading in our pupils is a result of the get results syndrome that bedeviled our educational system for some time now, which the new curriculum is about to address. But the new curriculum too started on a poor foundation. But in my school, I have made it an internal policy to make a priority, and all my teachers are very supportive. This one says, please, the reading problems we have with our children now involves a lot. Each and everyone has a role to play in it. The child, the teacher, parents, and government as well. Children must be active and ready to learn. Teachers must vary their methods of teaching. Parents and government must provide the materials needed to encourage and support teaching. Okay, so those are some of your comments on that. So you know how to send us your messages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or JoyNews on TV. On WhatsApp, it's 0540 10 909. Now let's talk about the bottle challenge. Hashtag bottle challenge has been trending on various social media platforms, and as you can recall, last week Saturday at the Wonder Boy album launch, Kwakwesi, while he was on stage, Shatawali's fans threw bottles at him while he was performing, but he was not bothered at all by that. He continued performing and he was having the time of his life. Now he's turning his misfortune or his embarrassing moment at that concert into a challenge.
Saying you're throwing a challenge.
The bottle challenge.
What could people win?
Oh, they will be putting out $1,000 for the
real?
bottle challenge. Yeah.
What do I have to do to get that?
You create something with bottle. It could be a dance, it could be an act, it could be anything. Just create something with a bottle. I will do mine, and when I do mine, people will see how it goes. And yeah.
You have the idea already?
Yeah, of course.
Charlie. Yeah. Between Saturday, where did you record this?
In our studio, 1124. You can hear it in the song, 1124 Maritime Studios. If you want to record with us, we are on the Spintex Road. You can link us.
Okay, this is where I pass an invoice right there. Or I come and record for free in your studio.
Come record for free.
Hashtag bottle challenge. Record your videos with anything bottle, and maybe you might get $1,000, like you said, $1,000. That's what is at stake. Now it's Wednesday, and I'm sure you need a little bit of wisdom. So let's go to Twitter and see what people have been saying about hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. This one is from @Mary F. Quinn, who says, Wednesday Wisdom, hashtag move on. It's just a chapter in your life. Turn the page and move on. Now let's turn the page to our next tweets. And this one's from @Bars and Poetry, who say, let your grudges go forever. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. Yogita says, let the only person on whom you have 100% faith be yourself. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. Repichi726 says, the truth is a bit uncomfortable and also outrageous. No term limits for elected officials until they exit for the unelected. Okay, so that's hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. How Wednesday Wisdom-y is it? But it's Wednesday Wisdom-y. Keith Watson says, Proverbs 4:24, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And all of God's children said, amen. This one's from @T4Ever, and they say, people with good intentions make promises, but people with good character keep them. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. And once again, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Talking about wisdom, there is a lot of wisdom in controlling your anger and controlling what you have to say when you're in a very tight situation. Watch this video and learn from it.
Now see what's happening here. I shook both of them at the same time with equal energy. But now you see what is happening here. It actually erupted like a volcano and messed up everywhere. Now the most painful part is that I can't recover my soda. Once it is spilled, that is the end of it. Now, sometimes when you are angry, please close your mouth. Because you may end up unleashing certain words that you never intended completely, and it can worsen the situation. And sometimes you may apologize and say, I'm sorry, but some words are like venom. They can poison someone's heart against you permanently. Now look at this one here. It's looking like nothing happened completely because I never opened it. And sometimes when you're angry, it is advisable to keep calm and postpone your action. You may even need to leave the place for a while and come back later to handle the situation. You'll realize you'll handle it with a lot of sobriety, and you'll be in charge of your thinking and your words. Believe you me, if I open this one later, nothing will happen. Don't let anger control you. Close your mouth sometimes so that you don't erupt hot magma.
All right, that's some Wednesday wisdom for you. On that note, I'm going to take a quick breather. When we come back, we've got tech. You don't want to miss it.